Page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Jagruti Dave. The confirmation hearings for President Trump's Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett get underway on Monday. In her opening statement released before the start of her confirmation hearing, Barrett will say she thought carefully before agreeing to be nominated, and that she will judge cases based on the law, not on her personal preferences. Democratic vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris is due to attend the confirmation hearing remotely due to coronavirus concerns. Harris made headlines in 2018 during Justice Brett Kavanaugh's hearing when she grilled him over his record. President Trump has suggested he is immune from the coronavirus as he resumes campaigning with just 3 weeks to go until the US election. He tweeted on Sunday that White House doctors gave him a total and complete sign-off, adding that it means I can't get it, brackets immune, and can't give it. Twitter flagged the tweet with a warning label saying it violated rules when it comes to spreading misleading and potentially harmful information related to COVID-19. Earlier, the president gave a Fox News interview where he also claimed he was immune.
It looks like I'm immune for, I don't know, maybe a long time, or maybe a short time. It could be a lifetime. Nobody really knows, but I'm immune. So the president is in very good shape.
On Saturday, the White House doctor released a memo saying the president is no longer considered a transmission risk and could resume public events. However, he did not say if Mr. Trump had tested negative for the coronavirus. Top US infectious diseases expert Dr. Anthony Fauci says his words have been taken out of context in a Trump campaign ad. The 30-second ad released after the president left Walter Reed Medical Center aimed to promote his and his administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic.
Protecting our seniors, getting them life-saving drugs in record time, sparing no expense. President Trump tackled the virus head-on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
But Dr. Fauci said he hadn't agreed to appear in the campaign. In a statement to CNN, he said, "In my nearly 5 decades of public service, I have never publicly endorsed any political candidate. The comments attributed to me without my permission in the GOP campaign ad were taken out of context from a broad statement I made months ago about the efforts of federal public health officials." In response, Trump campaign communications director said these are Dr. Fauci's own words. The video is from a nationally broadcast television interview in which Dr. Fauci was praising the work of the Trump administration. The words spoken are accurate and directly from Dr. Fauci's mouth. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in
6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
There goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. It's one of those things we're getting back on in the swing of things. We've been out for, 3 weeks now, Tone?
Yeah, 3 weeks, been out, getting a lot of rest, but we are back in action and ready to kick some ass. So.
We are. Now, it's one of those things where we spent those 3 weeks essentially going over to a new platform. So we are now on Fenix Media. And obviously, as you can tell by the name, Fenix Media is our own network. And so I've been getting the equipment set up, the brand new studio, as you guys can see here. Tony's been helping me out with, getting things dialed in, making sure Zoom works correctly, that the broadcast goes out correctly. And, so we're still going to be tweaking little things as we go live and as we figure things out. But in the meantime, we are back with brand new live shows. Now, with that being said, we do have a few changes that are going to be happening on the show. Namely, we've got some new daily topics. So instead of the Put It in Your Mouth Monday, we have what we call Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids, which Tony will take us through here in a little bit. Just sort of talking about funny stories about kids and the things they do and parenting, those sorts of things. The other thing we're looking for is a third co-host. Now, we had Ryan Wink for the beginning of the show. He had a job that he picked up and eventually, it ended up being a bigger project than he expected. So he has officially left the show, but we would like that third voice, ideally somebody female. But, if the right person comes along, we're open to all possibilities. That way, if Tony, has one of his, weird work shifts or I've got to run somewhere, we've got somebody else that can sort of keep things going. And it's always nice to have a third person that we can bounce things off of as well. So that's one thing to consider. The other thing is our call-in topics are going to change a little bit. Before we would solicit call-in topics live, and we heard from you guys that, you might be a little shy about calling in, whatever it may be. So the way we've done it is we're going to put out the call-in topic the day before. So today when we go through our call-in topic, we will, at the very end, tell you what tomorrow's call-in topic is. So you guys can call the Fenix Line. You know the Fenix Line. It's 855-FENIX Radio. That's 855-336-4973. And then you guys can just chime in there. You leave a message, let us know what you think about the topic, and then we will play it on the next day's call-in topic segment. So a lot of fun stuff. Tony, over the break, you actually came out here and visited with me, came to Nevada, came home. How was that for you?
Oh, it was excellent to be home, man. It's always great to see you, see Jesse, see our friends, see my dad, aunts. It goes so damn quick for me. It's not really I don't want to say a vacation. It is because I'm not working, but right. I got to soak in a little extra. I know we tried to get the show off last Monday, but we weren't quite ready for it. So I would have been in studio with you, but I'm back in Fort Collins, Colorado, and soaking in my last day of freedom from work, which it's been a nice run away. I'm not gonna lie. So
right. Well,
I shaved too finally.
There you go.
Yeah. Got a little grizzly, or as one of my friends' kids told me, I had a Colorado beard, which I did not. It was just really, really stubbly. That was it. So it feels good to be clean and freshed up, and rocking a Van Halen shirt today.
Looking a little less hobo-y.
Yeah, a little, just a little.
That's all right. Yeah, I got so used to sleeping in and enjoying waking up when the sun was already up, and then this morning alarm went off at 5:45. And look out the window and it's pitch black, and it's like, oh. But I'm up. We're here. We're doing the show. We're having fun, and hopefully you guys are joining us and having fun along with us as well. Tony, anything else you want to mention about what we're doing with the new format with Fenix Media before we talk about what's going to happen with today's show?
No, I'm excited to see what happens. If any of you out there have podcasts or you have aspirations to want to do radio shows, you might want to reach out to Kristian, and we'll see if it's something we can do for you. Get you on the Fenix Media Network. Looking forward to also getting our podcast back up and running. We tried last night, but still technicality still didn't allow that. So for fans that are watching this show that are also fans of that, don't worry, that's not going anywhere.
Right, it's coming.
It's all coming.
Right. And it's going to be part of the network now, which is even better. So, we'll be able to do probably a live show, maybe Sundays, figuring out the time slot. That way it's consistent. And, you can always listen back to it through Fenix Media. And as Tony mentioned, if you've got a great live show, for instance, you're a podcaster and you want to expand your reach a little bit, or you just have a great idea for a show that can be developed a little bit, reach out to us. We do have a limited number of talk show slots available, and then everything else is filled in with great rock music, from alternative rock, hard rock, heavy metal at night. It's what else can you ask for? So the other thing we're looking for is advertisers. If you are either a local business, a regional, or even a national, worldwide business, we've got great advertising opportunities, and we reach a lot of people. So lots of stuff going on. But you know what, Tony? It is Monday. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Briefly, I hate Mondays. Just hate them. Therefore, I decree from this day forward, there will be no more Mondays.
All right, on today's show, as I mentioned, we have our new segment called Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. We have a segment called If You Really Think About It. Our call-in topic today is bullcrap Halloween candy. And we are trying
to actually say it without getting fined now, but
we can, but we're still trying to keep it PG-13. Let's see what else we got. Reading is fundamental. We have This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, key. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today? Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
And welcome back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. I forgot to mention that today is Monday, October 12th. I almost said August 12th. You know, it's one of those things where, we've been gone so long, it feels like it's still August, right?
I was going to say, let's not go back in time, especially with the way 2020 is. Let's just get the hell out of this year. We're almost at the finish line. Hopefully some brighter days ahead. Let's get through this.
Yeah, we want to keep moving.
Let's not go backwards.
Keep moving forward, that's for sure. But in any case, we love to hear from you guys, whether you're chiming in on the Facebook page or you're giving us a call on the Fenix Line. Now, the Fenix Line is a 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. You can talk about what's going on with the new format. Maybe you can give us some ideas on where you'd like to see the direction of the show to go, or you can just tell us how you're doing. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining, and we'll compile those together and put them out in a future show. You look like you want to say something, Tone.
Yeah, I just, I'm adjusting. I'm just trying to get the microphone in place, really. I'm just ready to do my thing. That's all.
Well, speaking of Tony and his thing, Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning. It's October 12th. But I was going to say the intro. I thought about what I was going to say. The intro, you know how I used to say, no, back to the show. I find like a Mean Gene Okerlund or something.
Well, the funny thing is, Tony, you and I recorded some liners that we're going to be putting in there. I actually did one this morning sort of as a generic to put in there, but I accidentally loaded the wrong file. So that's why you didn't hear it. But
didn't hear nothing. I was like, yeah, we need something fun there.
Yeah.
I digress. This is the entertainment news, but before we roll with that, we used to do this thing, we'll dust it off, Filippo Fast Five. All right, we're going to clump this into one disappointing, depressing little package here.
No.
Margaret Nolan, iconic Goldfinger actress, she passed away at 76. Tom Kennedy, named that Toon game show host, he passed away at 93. And lastly, over the break, Eddie Van Halen died at 65 due to cancer. Honoring today with the Van Halen shirt.
Rocking the shirt.
It's probably a little small for me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little on the snug side. So, anywho's, Dak Prescott yesterday suffered a gruesome ankle injury, likely out for the season. If you saw it, you saw it, and if you didn't and you want to see it, go see it.
And you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it. Prayers go out to Dak Prescott on a day, ironically, where Alex Smith came back from a gruesome leg injury from 2 years ago. So, one real uplifting football story to a sad story there.
Yeah.
Staying in the realm of football. Spoiler alert: Falcons fire head coach Dan Quinn and GM Thomas Dimitroff. The Falcons are 0-5 for the first time since 1997. The Lakers, no surprise, won their 17th NBA championship last night, and LeBron's fourth with the third. And LeBron also has now won the fourth championship with 3 different teams, and he's also been the MVP for the finals for the third time.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. I'm glad you had that soundbite ready.
Me too.
Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot is going to play Cleopatra in a new movie.
All
Cool.
right.
And lastly, Pixar's Soul will skip theaters and premiere directly on Disney Plus and will not charge an up fee like Mulan.
Interesting.
Yeah. And now gonna start it off with some TV news here in entertainment world. Ewan McGregor has confirmed that the Disney Plus Obi-Wan series begins shooting in March 2021. It's going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi story, I suppose, McGregor said. It's not all about me, but certainly will be a lot about me. This is where I would play that good.
Good.
Good. They start shooting in March. He's excited. It was announced in 2019. The series is said to be a single-season, 6-episode show set 8 years after Revenge of the Sith and 11 years before A New Hope. During a time when the Jedi Order has been severely diminished, it seems to me we are basically getting thoroughly detailed Obi-Wan movie. We love it. So nonetheless, that's something to look forward to in the new year as we pass crappy 2020. So my brain is, I want to keep touching the mouse here.
Right.
I have to touch my trackpad. In extremely geeky news, but fans of Elf on the Shelf, it's the Elf on the Shelf is a scout for Santa who hides in people's homes during the holiday season, and in order to keep watch over the events and report back to Santa. After flying back to the North Pole, the elf returns home and hides in a new place, just waiting to be found. Well, it's a tradition. It's been that way since 2005. Obviously, our childhood, that was not a thing, but it's a thing today.
Yep. And
it seems like Netflix has acquired the rights to develop original stories based on the Elf on the Shelf. So, parents, your kids are going to love this. I'm sure you will too. But
over and over again.
It's aimed at preschool and family audiences. So, yay. So see, you like how I go from Obi-Wan to that. But, it should be fun. I think if you have little kids, Netflix has been killing it with original series, things and properties and whatnot. So I'd imagine this is going to be a very good series for the kiddos around the holidays, something fun to watch.
Right.
So doesn't say when it's going to be out, but look forward to it. It'll be on Netflix. Box office report as we transition into movies here. The box office shouldn't even be really around. It's
Right.
It's not really thriving or anything, but if you wanted to know, the top movie this weekend was a Robert De Niro film.
Interesting.
And it was a kid movie with Robert De Niro.
Oh, was it that grandpa thing?
Yeah, it's called The War with Grandpa. Took an estimated $3.6 million for the number one spot at the box office. $3.6 million. That used to be considered a flop. In my day, that was a flop. That's a success in today's world.
That is true.
So it's a PG-rated film. Hit 2,250 screens. It actually was done in 2018, so it's one of those movies they just dusted off and, hey, let's make some money with it. Let's see what else came out. This is how great the box office is.
Well, I can't imagine there were any other new movies that came out, really.
Tenet, still second place, 2.1 million. Third place, which I'm surprised is actually not number one, Hocus Pocus.
We went and saw it.
Brought in, it's done $42.3 million since being back in theaters. Was the number one movie last week. it's playing. So, I mean, a great movie, still holds up to this day.
And it was great to see in theaters.
Oh, I bet. I don't remember it. I remember seeing it in theaters as a kid.
Right.
I was a little kid, you know. And Vanessa Shaw. Awesome. New Mutants was number 4, and that is the end of that. Let's see. What do I got? 2 minutes left before it's commercial time. Actually, it's nice having a clock here. It's like speed this up.
Yep.
Huh? I'll save that story for another day. Let's just talk about Benedict Cumberbatch is going to reprise his role as Doctor Strange in the next Spider-Man. So
interesting.
He's going to be Tom Holland's mentor, Peter Parker. So obviously in the first one, it was Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Second one was Happy by Jon Favreau. This one, it doesn't really give a whole lot, but Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be that, which means his Doctor Strange, his sequel movie, the Into the Multiverse, is going to really start to tie together, and it's going to spin the Spider-Man world into its own Spider-Verse, which we're hearing rumblings that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to reprise their roles.
Well, we already know
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we already know Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro. Not that
and
weird.
He won't be blue.
Exactly, not that weird version that we got last time.
Yeah, and it also looks like Kristen Dunst and Dane DeHaan are also being rumored to come back as Mary Jane and Harry Osborn.
Interesting.
Obviously, Emma Stone can't come back as Gwen Stacy because, unfortunately, she died in second Amazing Spider-Man. But I think that's all cool to tie that together. So that is really it in entertainment news. It's stretching a lot because we're back to that. Don't have a whole lot of things coming out, but great TV news. Tomorrow I'll have a few other stories, obviously. But let's go ahead and roll on to the birthdays. It's my birthday! Well, it was some birthdays. Today's not a whole lot of action, but we will go with, I'm going to share a few from yesterday if I can get my thing to go. All right. Yesterday's birthdays and today's all combined. Terrell Suggs, he was a former Raven in Chief. He's 38. I think he was a Cardinal for a second. Hall of Fame quarterback, 49er quarterback. Steve Young, 59. TJ Watt, he's a defender for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is 26. Got a hell of a win yesterday over the Eagles. Emily Deschanel. Let's see, I Filippo'd my first one.
There you go.
44.
It's good to be back.
Luke Perry, a.k.a. Dylan McKay, would have been 53 today. Kirk Cameron, Mr. Seaver, 49. Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games, 27. And Mr. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, 51. Sneak. Let's go, bub. That's your birthdays.
And folks, that does it for the entertainment news. When we come back, Tony's going to be leading us through our new Monday segment of Silly Rabbits. You can't even get it right. Silly Rabbit, this bit is for kids. Folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. See, now we got it back in there. Any case, this is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, October 12th. Now, we're all over social media with many of you watching us right now on Facebook Live and soon to be YouTube Live as well. We love when you chime in. And, you can find us anywhere on social media. I'm available over at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio or on Instagram at Kristian Fenix. Tony is available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo.94. That's SANFILIPPO, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, it is Monday, and our new regular Monday topic is something that we're calling Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids.
Hi, Kristian.
Well, while Tony isn't quite Pee-wee, he is going to take us through, some of the funny things that kids do.
I ain't a pervert, man.
There you go.
Inside reference there. If you know, you know.
Exactly. All right, Tone, the floor is yours.
All right. So this new segment, Silly Kids. So basically what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to read some things here. Basically, like today is there ever a time, I know a lot of you have kids, some of you don't, but you listening do have kids. I mean, was there ever a time that you just felt like your kids are just criminal masterminds? They're so smart, they just completely blow your mind in the sense of, how in the hell did they do? Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is going to cover, so I'm going to ask you, Kristian, is there a time, was there that aha moment where Corbin or Reese Fenix, it blew your mind and you're just like, man, they are little masterminds. Maybe not criminal.
Right.
But enough where you're like, damn, okay.
Yeah, there's, nothing that they did that was, quite underhanded or sneaky in that regard. But the one thing that I did notice early on is, Corbin has a very engineer analytical mind. And, as a little kid, for instance, Reese, if you ask him how something works, he'll come up with something like, magical unicorn farts make it, do whatever it is. Corbin, on the other hand, is, like I said, he's very analytic. He's engineer-minded, and he would make up just off the top how something would work. And more often than not, he was about as close as you could get, coming from a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, whatever it was at the time. And it was really sort of interesting to see that his brain was putting things together almost properly. And so, we've often said that he's destined to be an engineer when he's older, or a computer science engineer, whatever it may be. But that's sort of along the lines of, maybe what you're looking for.
All right, yeah. So along those lines, that's neat, man. My little nephew putting it all together there.
Yep.
But right here, I'm going to share a couple of their experience with the kiddos. Twitter user LZAP16 said, 25 years ago, before the internet, my son was 14. He lied about his age, ordered computer parts by phone and COD, which is cash on demand for us,
right.
For you younger folk. The parts would show up before I got home. He built his own computer in our basement. I had no idea until his sisters let me know. He now owns his own computer company now. So just simply amazing.
That's really cool. That actually sort of reminds me of, and I know you did it when you were a kid. I did it too. Teenage years. We weren't old enough, but we got those CD.
Columbia House.
Columbia House, BMG. Exactly.
You're damn right. You wanted a good free way to get music.
Yeah, you got what, 20 CDs and
for the price of one, right?
Right, and then you cancel it as soon as you get it. I did it. I know you did it too.
Yeah, well, there was times where you just didn't pay. You could use fake names back in the day.
Yep.
And it just
you could do it multiple times.
Yeah, little criminal masterminds. Look what we're doing. We have our own radio show now.
Exactly.
Jeez. And Twitter user Ed O'Laughlin, my youngest hacked our Netflix parental code. She put light grease on the remote and got me to input the code when she wasn't looking. Then she noted the numbers I pressed and went through the combinations later. I am both frightened and impressed.
I would be too.
That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. Going back to Corbin, he knows the parental code, but the thing is, he's such a honest person that he doesn't dare go outside of it because he knows he'll get in trouble if he does.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's hard to monitor if you don't know what's going on.
Yep.
Kind of a similar little mastermind here. Twitter user Kristen Pohl had mentioned that our 15-year-old social engineered kid social engineered my husband by saying his phone Wi-Fi access didn't work and using my husband's phone to check the issue. He added himself as a Wi-Fi admin so he could disable the restrictions each night. All summers he played games until 4 a.m. until I caught him.
Oh no.
What a way. Like, how am I gonna fool mom and dad and play Call of Duty all night? I mean, that is pretty impressive. Now, what's more impressive is he got away with most of it without getting caught, because I'd imagine like he's gonna be loud and talking smack online.
Right.
I figured living with kids at my old place with Paul, man, those kids were up at all hours of the night, and you could hear a lot of smack talking going on.
I wonder if the mom just thought he was talking to himself or watching TV really loud.
Right. Cam Noss, a.k.a. Mama KK MK, that's a weird name, Twitter user follower, sure. My child took my new phone and immediately within seconds put her face into my facial recognition. I didn't notice it for a year. She did it under the premise of taking pics with my new phone's features. I used to work in tech and I'm officially ancient. So kind of cute. At least it's harmless in the sense of it's just pictures. I know a lot of my friends that have kids that let their kids play with the phones have about 10,000 selfies on theirs. Surprisingly, not of themselves. It's of their kid taking multiple shots of their own thing here. So.
Well, and even with her working in tech isn't what it used to be. I mean, it changes so rapidly that if you don't stay up on it and you're a parent who isn't quite familiar with the way it works, your kid can take advantage of you just like these.
Yeah. And this one here, now, I don't know if I believe it, but I'm going to read it because it's entertaining.
All right.
SpaghettiOs, Twitter user. When I was 5... Okay, when I was 5, that's where I don't really buy it, but we'll go with it. When I was 5, I really wanted a toy from McDonald's. So I took my mom's flip phone. It was 2006 when she wasn't looking, and I texted my dad asking to bring McDonald's, and it worked. My mother was both confused and impressed. LOL. I don't know if I buy that, but like, how's a 5-year-old gonna know how to do a flip phone and actually text?
Right, and not only that, but you didn't have the QWERTY keyboard there. You had, for What was it? For a C, you had to push 2-3 times for...
Yes. Like,
I don't buy it.
Unless they did it a lot, I don't really buy that one. But I had to read it. This one, Dr. Pepper's husband, that's the Twitter user.
Hey,
I shared this with my oldest daughter, and she told me it reminded her of my younger daughter. Apparently, she once asked me for the access code while I was asleep, and I told her, I do not remember this. Well, if you're hopped up on Dr. Pepper, you are going to reveal. So, let's see. What other fun ones on here?
We got a couple minutes,
A lot of them are cracking the codes, so kind of want to share. Ooh, here we go. All right. At Paige Albee, Twitter user, I have a separate code and password for everything, and my 8-year-old knows them all except for my bank card. Well, until yesterday when my hands wife were full, I was trying to get the money out. She piped up, "It's cool, Mom. I got this," and proceeded to enter in my bank codes. Hand on forehead emoji. Ooh. That's, at least it's your kid that knows it. I mean, and they're little. You have time to change it. You're
right.
Not completely, so.
Still a little scary if, a lot of us work off of the same passwords. I've got basically variations on a series of passwords. And you know what? If you never change it, it makes it that much easier for the kids to hack.
Yeah, it is. Is just crazy. How all of them, like as I'm reading through these, it's a lot of, they know my ATM PIN number, they know my password number. Let's see. As I scroll, I did try to read through these, but a lot of them are the same. So
yeah, just looking for a little variation. And
I want a little different one, but this one's cute. Let's go with this.
Okay.
Ellie K says my youngest son, 6 at the time, came up to me when I was alone and said, "Daddy, I hacked your screen time password," and then showed me. He then promised he wouldn't use it without my permission except for emergencies. I was so proud I took him out for ice cream. Way to go. He was just honest. He admitted he hacked his dad's password, ratted himself out to Mom, got himself a rewarded ice cream cone. That is
there you
fantastic.
Go. Win, win, win. All right, Tone.
Absolutely.
I think we got time for one more if you find a
all right.
Pretty good one.
So we're just gonna go with it. Number 21 on the list. The Kraken. Aha! When I was 11 or 12, I bypassed parental controls on our TV by redirecting broadcast channels through the VCR and using a coax cable plugged into a potato as an antenna. You can't trust kids. You should probably just let a kid who can do that watch whatever they want. That's pretty damn impressive. And the fact they had to use a potato as an antenna, which I kind of remember. I'm kind of that old that I have heard those things.
Right.
So there you go. The Kraken, man. Cracking codes, watching whatever the hell she wants.
There you go. Well, folks, that does it for our first Monday segment of Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. When we come back, we've got a segment called If You Really Think About It. We'll explain it in just a minute. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. The Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, October 12th. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, not America Matters, phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get everything you need, or head over to wherever you get podcasts: Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart. So many, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. Now, speaking of caring and speaking of sharing, wanted to talk about things, if you really think about it. It's sort of those existential questions that, every once in a while, you got in the back of your head, and you wonder if some people have the same thoughts. Tony, anything come to mind on your end as far as just sort of these worldly thoughts that you wonder if other people think the same thing?
Well, lately, of course, I mean, it's we're going to keep this non-political and controversial. So, but I'm just going to do it as a general thing here. But with current things going on, you always wonder, like, is it real? Is this for real? Is this really going on? Like, how is this happening? Mm-hmm. Things like that. Yeah, I think a lot of different things every day, but that's a common one. Or sometimes I'll think of. Back in the day, for electronics, before touch, when phones started taking off with touchscreen, mm-hmm. I was always like, man, they should put old school video games on here and just put like digital buttons on here, so you don't need a controller. You can just do that. Well, I thought about that a long time ago, before it ever existed. Uh-huh. And I'm like, man, I wonder if they're going to develop it. And then like a year later, sure enough, it was on there. It was just like, wow. That was weird. I mean, I'm not smart enough to come up with the technology, just the idea. I was like, man, that would be sweet. But So that would be a fun example, I would say.
Yeah, apparently somebody shared the thought. One of the ones that I've always had, and we've got one that's similar on the list, is, food. Who was the first person to figure out you could cook a food this way, or even eat a food? You go around in early man, there's berries out there that are good to eat, but there's other ones that are extremely poisonous. So if you had to send somebody out, somebody had to be the guinea pig to test a berry and figure out, is it safe? Is it going to kill you? What's going on? And so for instance, the first one on this list, somebody at some point probably figured out medicine this way. An ancient human says, oh, hi, plant. What happens if I eat you? The plant says, of course, the plant doesn't actually say that, but it says, you'll crap yourself until you die. The ancient human, oh, but what if I eat like just a tiny bit of you, just one drop of your juices or something? The plant, now confused, says, you'll crap yourself just a little bit? And the ancient human says, oh, cool. Hey, people, I found a medicine plant for constipation. And the plant says, ah, crap. So, it's one of those existential questions that, somebody thought about. That's along the lines of what I was thinking. For instance, let's move on to this next one where, Tony, do you ever do Mountain Dew?
No, because it shrinks the testicles. That was always the thing. I don't know if that's true. I highly doubt it. I was always more of a Dr. Pepper.
Right. Yeah. It's funny you just mentioned that. I haven't thought about that in forever.
Yeah, remember that was the old adage as kids? Don't drink too much Mountain Dew, your balls will shrink.
Right. Yeah. That's the way it goes. Well, this user, Max of 2D says,
Maximilian!
You ever think about how Mountain Dew is really a poetic name, and how if someone didn't know what it was, they'd probably guess some herbal tea made of the finest leaves of the Alps, but instead it's just a radioactive gamer soda?
Yeah, that pretty much is, because like anymore you see like it's all associated with it's just associated with amped all night, Mountain Dew amped,
extreme sports,
kill streaks in. Yeah.
Here's another one that when you really think about it sort of makes sense. Underwear is a bit strange. So me explaining underwear to aliens, we have smaller secret pants that we wear under our normal pants. Yeah, if you really think about it, underwear is a strange thing, but it is so necessary. I don't know how some people can really fly commando.
Yeah, it is one of those things. You got to have that nice and just, it's just got to be protected. I don't know.
Moisture wicking always helps,
Yeah, absolutely. Jeans, what was the old, not to stay in that realm, but there used to be that thing in high school, Free Ball Friday.
Right.
You wear jeans, F that, man.
No.
They're uncomfortable.
Chafing and rubbing. Yeah, not my idea of fun.
No.
Here's one that I don't know if it's true, but if it is true, a little mind-blowing. It says Americans probably sounded like Shakespeare did. Somebody put at what point in history do you think Americans stopped having British accents? And somebody replied back, actually, Americans still have the original British accent. We kept it over time, and Britain didn't. What we currently coin as a British accent developed in England during the 19th century among the upper class as a symbol of status. Historians often claim that Shakespeare sounds better in an American accent. I would have never considered that, but it makes you think about, how accents evolve over time. Just look at the Australians. They were a variation of the British accent, and now they sound similar but different.
Yeah, I love the Australian and British accent. I am a huge fan of those. Or like them. I don't always do them right, mate. Sometimes I can do it. Sometimes I mess it up. It really depends. You just never know, man.
Here's a trope that, Tony, I know you're used to getting, is the nice guy trope. The nice guy never gets the girl. And so don't know quite how...
Spoiler alert. True.
Don't know quite how this one holds up, but a person put, how come nice guys say milady but wear fedoras? I don't know any nice guy that does either one of those, but it says, if you're saying milady, you should be wearing tights and a neck ruffle. If you're wearing a fedora, you should be saying, see here, dame, meh. Classy fedora dudes never say milady. Why do they always have katanas? That person. Ninjas? I know, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. No, not many people wear fedoras anymore. Some do. But they definitely are not saying milady. And the people that are saying milady are like the Renaissance Festival type, Yeah, like
walking around with a big
I'm a nice
turkey.
dude, but I don't go up and I'm like, hey, you want to go out? Milady. I mean, because if I try that is just going to hurt the diminishing returns on that right away.
Well, and
you're not even getting into friend zone with that. You're like, your ass is locked out.
Well, and whoever wrote this makes me wonder, where is this chick hanging out, because
yeah.
who really says milady, and who wears a fedora?
Oh my God! So I was down at McLaren's Plum. Yeah, I said plum. And there was this guy, and he hit on me, and he was wearing a fedora, and he said my lady, and I was like, ow. It was good. Good times.
Moving on, this next one, Tony. I'm officially old that I don't get the whole slang of, kids these days, bae or yeet, but apparently yoink. Apparently the word yoink is the opposite of yeet.
What the hell is yoink?
I have no idea.
Yoinky doink. Oh, now I did have to get schooled by my friend Stacy this week. Her kids taught, I guess some of the things is it's cap.
What?
I don't know how to use that. Yeah, it's cap. It's not Colin Kaepernick. It's not Kaepernicking. It's cap. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what it means. And what is it? Like, to hang out and chill is now like it's vibing. It's vibing.
That's so weird.
It's strange to me.
Right.
I feel so old. Like when I was talking to her, I was like, all right, I feel like a grandpa. I don't know. I'll rock my Van Halen shirt. F it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And slang is even regional. I remember, I grew up in Southern California, and you would say, oh, man, that's cool or that's rad. Well, we moved to Minnesota, and they didn't say cool or rad. They said mint. They're like, oh, man, that's so mint. I guess because it's colder up there, they need something that's, a little bit cooler in tone anyway. So
that's so mint. You're so cap. We're so butchering today's slangs. We should probably do a topic of today's slangs.
Hey, we've done old-timey slang. Why not do today's slang and see if we can figure it out?
Let's find out.
Yeah.
If any of you listeners have teenage kids or young kids, please help us understand what the hell is going on. We need to know.
Right.
We'll cover it on a future episode.
And then finally, as we head out to our long break, here's something to think about. Skeletons are even spookier than you think. There is a skeleton inside of you, but you are inside of your skeleton. Your brain, your internal organs, all of it. Yeah, it's quite
Never
interesting.
thought of it like that. I've always just thought there is a skeleton in me. I never really think of anything else.
Well, folks, that does it for this first hour of the show. When we come back, we've got our call-in topic, which we'll explain a little bit more about how that works. But don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back in just a little bit.
I spend a lot of time.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star, and Shelter Pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. To explore our complete lineup, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Jagruti Dave. The confirmation hearings for President Trump's Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett get underway on Monday. In her opening statement released before the start of her confirmation hearing, Barrett will say she thought carefully before agreeing to be nominated, and that she will judge cases based on the law, not on her personal preferences. Democratic vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris is due to attend the confirmation hearing remotely due to coronavirus concerns. Harris made headlines in 2018 during Justice Brett Kavanaugh's hearing when she grilled him over his record. President Trump has suggested he is immune from the coronavirus as he resumes campaigning with just 3 weeks to go until the US election. He tweeted on Sunday that White House doctors gave him a total and complete sign-off, adding that it means I can't get it, brackets immune, and can't give it. Twitter flagged the tweet with a warning label saying it violated rules when it comes to spreading misleading and potentially harmful information related to COVID-19. Earlier, the president gave a Fox News interview where he also claimed he was immune.
It looks like I'm immune for, I don't know, maybe a long time, or maybe a short time. It could be a lifetime. Nobody really knows, but I'm immune. So the president is in very good shape.
On Saturday, the White House doctor released a memo saying the president is no longer considered a transmission risk and could resume public events. However, he did not say if Mr. Trump had tested negative for the coronavirus. Top U.S. infectious diseases expert Dr. Anthony Fauci says his words have been taken out of context in a Trump campaign ad. The 30-second ad released after the president left Walter Reed Medical Center aimed to promote his and his administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic.
Protecting our seniors, getting them life-saving drugs in record time, sparing no expense. President Trump tackled the virus head-on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
But Dr. Fauci said he hadn't agreed to appear in the campaign. In a statement to CNN, he said, "In my nearly 5 decades of public service, I have never publicly endorsed any political candidate. The comments attributed to me without my permission in the GOP campaign ad were taken out of context from a broad statement I made months ago about the efforts of federal public health officials." In response, Trump campaign communications director said these are Dr. Fauci's own words. The video is from a nationally broadcast television interview in which Dr. Fauci was praising the work of the Trump administration. The words spoken are accurate and directly from Dr. Fauci's mouth. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live?
that it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take, you would of course prepare. You would talk with your loved ones and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this business.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second hour of this edition of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, October 12th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host still, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, we're back. How you feeling in that first hour?
Delayed. No, I feel good, man. It feels good to be back. It feels like a little normal. Like I know in my brain what to do after the show. Go to the Sherwood Forest, hit the gym, make a Costco run. The daily dose.
Yeah, it's funny when you have routines that get you going. The last 3 weeks that we were out felt out of sync, not normal, sort of strange, but now that we're back in the swing of things, it's Monday, we got the thing going, and I think it's been going pretty smooth. A couple little technical things that I'm still figuring out with the new system, but all in all, it's going well.
I agree. There are a few little things, like I'm not sure why today on Facebook, I don't think you guys that are watching or listening, we like to expand our viewing audiences by sharing it both on Kristian's page and my page. I couldn't share it today. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I think that's something on Facebook's side, because when I went to the share, where I share it from is not in its normal spot. I had to look around a little bit for it. I found it, but
yeah, because I can see there's one share, and I tried to piggyback on that, and I haven't. So also the guy responding on the current Fenix page when it says Kristian Fenix and there's some typos, it's not this guy. Well, it's this guy. It's not this guy over here.
There you go.
So, yeah, just got to get the pointing thing down again.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Yeah, I think I responded to one of the fans, and I put, "Oh, we love you."
Love. We just love. Yeah.
We love you on the Kristian Fenix show.
Yeah, Tony's an editor on the Facebook page, and so.
God, don't ever say editor. That's bad. Ooh, that's pushing it, kid.
But if he forgets to switch it over to his own name, then it comes out as me. But you know what? We're one and the same. Tony's never going to piss somebody off in my name, hopefully.
No. I'm pretty good. I'm very well behaved on this show. When we were regulated by FCC, it was only 2 S-bombs.
Yep.
Never the F-bomb. 2
Nope.
S-bombs.
No.
Even old Jimmy Jones felt the wrath of it on his show once, and there was no editing. So.
Well, and the good news is that, we're not regulated by the FCC, so if you accidentally drop one, it's okay. We don't have to worry about it.
We'll just move on. We'll dance from it.
Exactly. But we're still going to try and keep it PG-13 because we know there are kids that listen to the show as well, which is awesome. We love that.
Hi, Annabella.
Hello. All right. So
Hello.
Hello. So today's call-in topic, and the call-in topics are working a little bit differently now that we're here with Fenix Media. Again, I said at the top of the show that you guys had expressed that you might be a little shy about calling in live, which we understand. So we want to give you guys the option to still call in, leave a message. Again, you don't have to worry about going out live or over the air, or if you even screw up, you know what? We don't necessarily have to play it, but what we are doing is we are letting you know of the call-in topic the day beforehand, and once we get to the end of the next segment, I'll let you know what tomorrow's call-in topic is, and then asking you to call in on the Fenix Line. Again, the Fenix Line is 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-336-4973, and you have all day to chime in. You're not regulated to just when we're doing that segment live, and we want to hear from you. Obviously, we want you guys to chime in as well on the Facebook page, which, if you're watching from anywhere else, you head over to facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio, pull up the live video there, and comment in the comment section. Now, with all of that out of the way, today's call-in topic, and while you didn't have much of a heads up on calling in for it, we would still love if you chime in. Tony and I will talk about it, but we're talking about bull crap Halloween candy. And, we all have
Bullsherwood.
Ooh, I thought you were going to drop it, Tony, and I almost reached for the dump button, which doesn't exist because we don't have to worry about it anymore.
I scared you.
You did.
Just
you did.
Seeing if you had a pulse there, kid. No, I'm not going to cuss on it.
So before we go to you guys and we want to hear what your bullcrap Halloween candy stories are, Tony, what is the one that comes to mind? You know, you're a little kid, you're excited, you go get dressed up. You come back and you start rifling through your candies, and they have what?
Oh, you know those crappy orange and black candies? There's no name. They're just in wax packs, and they're just this taffy thing.
The saltwater taffies?
Well, I don't even know if they were that. They were black. They were black and orange. I don't know what the hell they were, but I remember being dressed up as Raphael. Well, my sister was Raphael and I was Michelangelo. My mom made these bitchin' Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes back before you could buy these things. Dude, my mom was legit at making costumes.
Nice.
I may have to share like a Panthro one. Well, she did awesome.
Here's a little bit of a hint. That might be our call-in topic tomorrow.
Ooh, snaps.
Oh, but anyway, go ahead with your story.
Rambling there. Well, the local Carson City police officer he saw, liked the costumes, complimented us. My mom's, she's like, yeah, I made them, blah, blah, blah. Good stuff. So he rewarded my sister and I candy. And well, that was a nice gesture. And you should just be grateful, kids listening, be grateful that you get any candy. They rewarded us with the crappy orange and black candy. It was just wrapped and they taste like crap.
Yummy!
No one wants that candy. So bad I don't even know what it's called.
Well, not only that, but when people talk about like razor blades and needles being in candy, those were the candies I always sort of imagined them being in because, they weren't quite sealed up. They were in that loose, waxy paper and...
Yes!
Yeah, not a whole lot of fun. But in any case, that's the sort of thing we're looking for. We want you guys to chime in right now on the Fenix page on facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio under the live video there. And then when we come back, I'll give you my pick for the worst candy of all time. So folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star, and Shelter Pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And welcome back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, October 12th. Now, we are smack dab in the middle of our call-in topic, which, as I mentioned, works a little bit differently now that we are under Fenix Media. You guys don't have to call in live. You can chime in any point of the day by calling into the Fenix Line, which is 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-336-4973. Today's call-in topic is the worst Halloween candy of all time. Now, we still invite you guys to chime in on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just pull up the live video and comment on there. Now, Tony talked about his being those weird taffies, orange and black.
They are called peanut butter taffy, which sounds weird that I wouldn't like peanut butter because I like peanut butter. Lacey had chimed in and said she loved them. So that's how I knew what they were. So before, obviously, we've got to hear what Mr. Fenix is.
Well, and
Sherbowski candy.
Right. And some of these candies, some people love, some people hate, and we'll get to a few of those. There's other that are just universally hated. For me, I think the most bull crap candy, Tony's pointing to his Van Halen shirt for some reason, is raisins. Nature's candy. I always
nature's candy.
Oh, I always hated dumping out, and you got that little box of Sun-Made raisins.
Oh yeah.
Who in
you
the
didn't
right?
hear it through the grapevine.
No. Who in their right mind thinks, oh, you know what? They're really gonna appreciate this. I'm gonna give them raisins. They're not gonna.
Those are the.
Yeah. It's awful.
Always used to piss me off is my parents. Like when the parents would do like the comb to make sure like you didn't have bad candy. My dad used to do that to the Reese's. He used to be like, "Oh, that Reese's is open. That's bad. You can't." He doesn't like just pick. He would take my candy. I put the steps in, buddy. But he used to take it. But yeah, and he would leave you with the crappy stuff like the raisins. The raisins were terrible.
They were. It's funny. We instituted this thing for the boys that, obviously if you've got a ton of candy, nobody gets through it all. So we have them pick out, their 30 favorite pieces of candy. So they pick it out, they put it in a bag, and that's what they get to enjoy. We as the parents get to go and pick a few things, and then everything else is donated. So, there's some great organizations that send candy overseas to the military, and that's what we do. We take that extra candy, we donate that over, and then, ship it out overseas. But, just one of the things to think about if you can't get through all of that candy or some of the terrible things that people decide to give you. Now, Tony, I have a feeling that Lacey might have chimed in on what her pick was for terrible
candy.
She
did, and so did Annabella. So Annabella's pick is Smarties. Those
really?
are she's not a big fan of the Smarties, which I get it. You get an overabundance of those.
Yeah.
Because they're in those mix packs, so you get a lot of those. And then for Lacey, it's black licorice. So anything with black licorice in it.
I agree with Lacey there. Yeah.
Yeah, black licorice is a thumbs down. Gotta give that a down.
Black licorice tastes like cough syrup.
Yeah.
There's nothing enjoyable about it.
I need to add that to the dating list. If you like black licorice, it's probably not going to work.
You're right.
No, I'm just kidding. That shouldn't. It just reminded me of somebody from my past that was all about the black licorice, and it was disgusting.
Yeah. Kendra chimed in. I think she agrees with me. She hates raisins as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Bullcrap Halloween candies. All right, I'm going to run down a list, and guys, feel free to continue chiming in. Here's one I never understood. It's not candy, and nobody actually would use them. Wax lips. Do you remember getting those, Tone?
Oh, those were, they were awful. You would put them in your mouth, and I'll just put it in your mouth.
Right.
But they had a little stick thing, and you just would make the face. Yeah.
Right, they were a novelty for 5
they were
seconds.
Awful, yeah. They were just to be more like, oh, look at me, I'm funny.
Right, and you couldn't eat them. They were just made out of pure wax. It was gross. Yeah. Here's one I kind of agree with when it comes to actual candy bars. I was never a big fan of the Almond Joy and Mounds.
Oh, bro. Almond Joys are badass. Mounds, I didn't like Mounds. Actually, I didn't mind Mounds. It was just coconut-filled chocolate without the nut.
Right.
Without the almond. Almond Joy was the same thing, oh, man, I loved it. Boo on that. Thumbs up for me, man. Almond Joys are badass.
What about hard grandma candies, whether it's the Werther's Originals or just those nondescript candies that were wrapped in the cellophane? And again, I think those were the razor blade candies.
Yeah, the Werther's sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I always hated when I got those. Those were usually those never really made it,
And I don't know if I'm getting old now, but I love Werther's Originals now.
Bella and Lacey like Almond Joy and Mounds too. So
hey, I guess
poo on that.
I guess I'm out on an island on my own.
It's just cool. No, it's good. It's difference of opinions.
Yeah. How about bootleg gummies? You ever get the ones that were like in those little vacuum pack weird gummy things that?
Yeah, if they weren't by not Hasbro like the toy, but they Hasbro, right?
Haribo.
Haribo. Okay, so there was Haribo. Those seem to be legit, but there was another brand. My thing is, I liked the normal gummy bears. There was these certain ones that were actually really gummy and actually had a little flavor to them.
Okay.
But if you got those knockoff ones, man.
They were not good. Yeah. Or they had those jelly ones that were, the consistency was weird. They were more slime than they were gummy. Not my favorite. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. This one is about as polarizing as it gets. Candy corn. Tony, where do you fall on the candy corn scale?
I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't hate it. I know that when I was home, that due to scaring our friend Lori, she was rewarded a bag of candy corn from Brandy. So that was nice. Lori likes candy corn. I know you like the candy corn pumpkins. I think they're okay. I don't think they're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're not something I'm going to go to all the time, but they're okay.
Yeah. I find most people either love them or hate them. I'm on the love side. They have to be the Brock's candy corn, and whether the pumpkins or the actual candy corn, they're delicious. I love them. I don't care.
Would you do that pizza? Would you do that pizza that was going around on Facebook? that meme?
If it's made by Brock's and if it tastes just like candy corn, if it doesn't have any weird flavorings, then yeah, I'd probably try it.
Ooh, Lori gave that a F no. So.
It's worth a try.
For those listening, the F stands for friends.
Yes, friends no.
Friends.
Here's another one that I never really enjoyed, mostly because of the consistency. Tootsie Rolls. You know, Tootsie Rolls, whenever you got them for Halloween, they were rock hard. Like they've been sitting around for 3 years.
Forever, yeah. I'm not a big Tootsie Roll fan, but I liked Tootsie Pops.
Okay.
As weird as that is. Like, I enjoyed the sucker part. You know, you'd always go for, like, look for the Indian with the star. You'd go to the store and get another one. That was the old
Was that true? Was that something you could really do?
I did it at 7-Eleven by my house.
Really?
I mean, they're out of business now, but yeah, I
Because
did
they
do it.
gave away too many Tootsie Pops that had
Too
stars
many
on.
Tootsie Pops killed 7-Eleven. Yeah. Had nothing to do with the rent or the crap location where it sat on Highway 50. No, I think that was true. Now, I was not a big fan of Tootsie Rolls, but I did like the flavored ones when we got a little older. Like they had a strawberry one.
Yeah.
It was okay. I didn't like how it stuck to the teeth and stuff. So I'm with you. Because if it was rock hard, oof.
Yep.
Rough.
Yep. Along those same lines, what about Bazooka Gum? You know, you got the little Bazooka Joe comics in them, but most of the time, again, they were rock hard.
Awful. The gum was great. It's like Double Bubble. Or, that stuff was great for about 2.5 seconds. Then you spit that crap out. It was enough to go, maybe chew.
Right.
The only thing I liked about Bazooka Joe was the comics. Otherwise, what a pile of crap.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Terrible gum. Terrible.
Moving on, how about Bit O' Honey? You remember those?
Yeah, I was not a big fan of the Bit O' Honey.
Yeah, no.
It was okay. No, I didn't like it. Thumbs down.
I agree.
Getting it down.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then before we head out and before we tell you guys what tomorrow's call-in topic is, that you guys can chime in on the Fenix line, anything that isn't candy. I always hated when I got toothbrushes or toothpaste or pennies.
Please.
Pennies? Who's giving out pennies?
Yeah.
Old people.
I remember getting weird stuff. Gotta say, though, back in the day when baseball cards were like the big thing, I used to get packs of baseball cards from one of the neighbors. They'd hand out one big size candy bar and a package of baseball cards.
That's awesome. And
that was cool.
Yeah. And we always seek out the neighborhoods where you get the full-size candy bars because those were always the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks, before we
Halloween is Among Us.
That was a terrible movie, but that's a whole nother topic.
Don't you talk about Halloween.
All right, before we head out, wanted to let you guys know the call-in topic for tomorrow, Tony sort of mentioned it, was your favorite homemade Halloween costume. I think most of us had some rendition, whether we were kids or when we were older and made them for the kids, or maybe it's something you just saw when you were out and about. Again, favorite homemade Halloween costume. You guys can chime in anytime today on the Fenix line. That is 855 Phoenix Radio, 855 336-4973. Well, folks, that does it for our first call-in topic. Coming back. When we come back now, we have a topic called Reading is Fundamental. Now, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The Storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you? What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, October 12th. Now, we have a little thing called the Fenix Line. It's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line giving you guys the opportunity to call in on any topic whatsoever. Maybe you want to chime in on terrible Halloween candy. You can do so. Or, as we're doing now with our call-in topics, call for tomorrow's, which is your favorite homemade Halloween costume. You can chime in on anything. You can tell us how much that you love that we are back. Again, that number is 855-PHOENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. Toll free from anywhere in the world. We just want to hear from you. Now, in this segment, I want to talk about reading. Reading is fundamental. Came across a list of people who, were caught in public reading books that either were ironic to their situation or make you wonder about where they are in their lives. Tony, are you a big reader? Do you pick up a book every now and then?
Every once in a while, if it piques my interest. The last one I read was Ready Player One, and it was either that or it was Sammy Hagar's biography.
Okay.
Yeah, so every once in a while I will. Well, it's not as much as I probably should, but let's be real, I don't have a lot of time for it.
Yeah, I mean, most of us don't.
But being honest.
Right. I love reading when I have a chance to.
Yes.
I switch off.
I enjoy it too.
Yeah, between fiction and nonfiction, and it sort of keeps the brain juices flowing. What's that?
I will say Ready Player 2 comes out, I think, later this year, and I would read that.
That I'll read too. Yeah, that'll be a good one. But in any case, let's run down this list of people who are reading. Reading is fundamental. And for instance, you have this woman who's either on a bus or a subway, and she's just crashed out. She's got her computer bag in hand, and in her other hand is a book called How to Sleep Well. Apparently it's working because she's crashed out on a commuter train, which I don't know if I'd ever trust falling asleep in a public place like that. Maybe an airplane, but not on a train or a bus.
Right.
Here's one that makes me worry about this woman and probably someone you won't want to date. Sitting there reading How to Make Friends and Then Kill Them.
Okay. That's a little harsh, but all right.
Right. My only hope is that maybe it's a fiction book about a story, and not a how-to, murder for dummies or whatever that might be. Again, another one that I don't know if I'd necessarily be dating this person. Caught on a bus or a train, whatever it might be, reading the book, Why Do So Many Incompetent Men Become Leaders? I mean, that's about as feminist as a book as you get, but it's also kind of true. You get a lot of people who lead because of the people around them, but end up becoming more famous because they have that little something that they're able to use other people, and that's the way they do.
Yeah. I see it all the time in my job. How in the hell did they get there? All right. Yeah.
Right. I think the an alternative title would be How Do Leaders Become So Good at Brown Nosing? Because that's really what it takes to become in these positions of power, as opposed to really doing something. There is the exception, but you never know.
Yeah. So you can move to the top.
Exactly.
Down in that nose. That's right.
All right. Moving on, Tony. Where do you fall on Facebook comments? For me, one of my favorite pastimes, when I'm settling down at bed is, pulling up a polarizing article and then going through the comments and just watching people hash it out.
Oh, I love it. Sometimes that's more entertaining in reading. Love the trolls. The troll comments are great. There used to be this weird dude on sport comments. His name was Dolphin Fan, and he'd always be like, Dolphins fan here, and he'd post a picture of himself with duck lips, and it would set these people in a frenzy. They're like, they'd bash this guy, and he just did it it would just literally be like that metaphor, like that right log into the fire for it to just burn. It always just seemed to keep that going. It was nuts, but it was very entertaining to read. So,
good for you.
Hey, I'm a fan of that stuff. I don't usually do it because I've learned things you say in social media always find a way to come back and bite you in the ass. So I just don't really comment. I'll sit back and watch, but I ain't one to really go in and chime in. So.
Hey, fair enough. Well, there's this woman who,
unless it's positive.
Yeah.
Then I will.
This woman who was caught on the subway, she printed out 15 pages of Facebook posts and comments just to read them. Apparently, either her smartphone doesn't work, it's a subway, doesn't get reception, but hey, I guess that's one way to do it, right?
No, that's weird. Sorry. There's got to be something else better to read than that.
You would think so, but I don't know. Like I said, I enjoy reading the comments, especially when you've got two opposing sides going at it, and maybe both sides are either right or both sides, which even better, are wrong.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. That one's not. Here's one that would sort of go back to that leadership one. It's called Surrounded by Idiots. I would say
surrounded by frickin' idiots here. How hard is it to get a laser beam on a frickin' shark?
Way to go, a-hole!
I mean, hello.
I kind of think that should be Common Core reading because these days most of us are surrounded by idiots.
Freaking idiots. All the time. I think about that at times. Just, I'm like, man. I can't really even go into it because I'd be bashing anybody, So, but yeah, I get that. I'm just going to put everyday life, you encounter it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No examples.
Tony, I think I found your Christmas present. This guy's caught reading a book called Can Holding in a Fart Kill You?
I pooped my pants.
Well, the longer you hold it in, the more toxic it be.
And it causes some gut issue, and it can make you hurt a little bit if you do it too much. But especially if you're out on a date, you got to hold it in, right, Tone?
Oh, you do. And I remember meeting my ex's aunt and uncle for the first time, and we're going through Yellowstone, or not Yellowstone. I wish I'd been to Yellowstone, Yosemite. And I had to crack a Limp Biscuit, something fierce, and that thing was bottled up. And I tell you what, like when it was done, that echoed. It was like a thunderclasp through the Yosemite.
Yeah, it's bound to come out at some time.
I was in pain.
Oh, I'm sure.
Pain.
I'm sure.
I just didn't want to blow a Sherbowski in the car.
All right, moving on with our people who were caught reading either ironically or just reading something funny. You have two ladies sitting there on the subway. One is reading a book called Before, the other reading a book called After. So I don't know if they planned it that way, but it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on, here's a question that everybody has. A person reading a book called When Will Jesus Bring the Pork Chops?
Get in my belly!
It's a legitimate question, right?
Right.
You would think it.
Jeez, what did you get? When's Jesus bringing the pork chops? I mean, I got the cornbread. Yeah. Jesus, where's the pork chops?
Pork chops sound pretty good right now.
I do. I can't cook pork chops to save my life.
They're tough. It's pork chops are a little bit like chicken where you have to make sure they're thoroughly done. They're not like beef where you can leave them a little pink on the inside. Otherwise, you're going to be reading that book, how to, is it okay to hold onto a fart, or will holding on into a fart kill you? Whatever that book was called. All right, moving on with the next one. This one's great, and I don't know if it's ironic, but the guy's reading a book called How to Read a Book.
For real?
Yeah. And again,
I don't know why I find that so damn funny, but that's getting you damn Skippy.
And we'll post these on our Facebook page, so a little bit later on, head on to Facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio, and you can see these for yourself. They are quite hilarious. Speaking of hilarious, here's one that it's the reason I'm a dog owner. Woman's reading a book that says, "Will my cat eat my eyeballs?"
You might want to reevaluate that having the cat.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of frightening. Like if you have to worry if your cat's gonna eat your eyeballs. Bye-bye, kitty.
Well, and you hear those horror stories about, these cat hoarders who have just a ton of them in their homes, and they end up dying, and then the cats end up eating their bodies because there's nothing else, and that's worrisome. That is scary.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And then here's one that, given the way 2020 is going, before we head into the break, I think all of us need to read and need to pick up. It is the Zombie Survival Guide.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I swear people in their masks sometimes. It's only a matter of time before that happens.
Yep. Required reading for sure. Well, folks, when we come back, we're heading into the final segment of the show. And as we do each and every day, it is going to be This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rubber goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, Let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. We did it. We made it not only back to the show after 3 weeks off, through our new system, through our new network, Fenix Media, but we made it through to the end of the show. Yes, it is the final segment. But if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show, click on that, and you can get video, you can get audio as well. Or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
You damn right I'm not.
Uh-oh. Well,
yeah, bring the Stay Puff to me.
While you're there, be sure to subscribe so that way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends, because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
Sharing.
I can still remember a few lines.
Yep. But training wheels are off, and I think we did a pretty good job. But you know what? Not before we head out for the day with a segment we do each and every day. We're going to drop a little knowledge, drop a few laughs on you. It is This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
All right, I dropped the right one in there.
About that still makes me chuckle. Could you imagine Ryan Wink?
And unfortunately, Ryan is no longer a co-host of the show.
Yeah,
we mentioned
it. Was
it.
Great. Thank you, Ryan, if you watch. Thanks for all that you did, buddy. We appreciate it.
We always appreciate. But if you are interested in being part of the show, we are looking for a third co-host who's available every day, or pretty much every day, from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific time. So if that's you, go ahead and reach out. But let's go ahead and run down this day in history before we head out for the day. For instance, this day in 1216, King John of England loses his crown jewels in the Wash as the flood tide swamps his wagons, probably near Fordyke, perhaps near Sutton Bridge. Don't know where those are, but could you imagine losing a crown of jewels and what that's probably worth?
Oh, you figure back then, if you stumbled upon that now, whew. So.
Oh, or even stumbling upon it back then, you could be at the bottom of wherever things washed out, and you're just a peasant walking along, and all of a sudden you pick up this crown of jewels, and that would be nice.
Yeah, you're like, well, I wonder how much this is worth. Let's go take it to Rick at the pawn shop. I'm sure he'll offer me a lowball offer.
Yeah, I don't know if they had pawn shops back then, but yeah, something along
I'm
those
saying
lines.
if you found it now, if you stumble upon it now, you go see Rick down in Vegas, you know?
Good old Rick. And then
Good
you could
old
be on
Rick.
Pawn Stars, and didn't Chum Lee just
Yeah.
get arrested or something?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. All right.
I don't know either. It's just funny that it just made me think of that. Like, you know, are you willing to give it away for $5? 10's the best I'm going to do.
Moving on, this day in 1492. Does that year sound familiar, Tone?
Was it the year that Freddie sailed the ocean blue?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Little Helm Street, Freddie's Dead reference.
Little reference there.
Yeah, it's Columbus.
Yes. Christopher Columbus's expedition makes landfall on a Caribbean island he names San Salvador, likely Waitling Island in the Bahamas. The explorer believes he has reached East Asia, and of course that is when technically America is found, but being that it's the Caribbean, we still celebrate, and when we go through today's holidays, you'll know why. Moving on, this day in 1518, Pontifical Ambassador interrogates Martin Luther. So if you're a Lutheran, this is the beginning of the Protestant Reformation. And so Protestants and Lutherans never quite got along, but it's weird that they're all Christian religions. We're not a religious show, so we won't get into that too much.
No.
But in any case, just want to let you know that happened this day in history.
Ooh.
Speaking of this day in history and religion, this day in 1711, Charles VI is crowned Holy Roman Emperor in Frankfurt. That's Germany, for those of you that didn't.
Frankfurt? Yes. Hello, Frankfurt. That's a Russian accent, not German. Sorry.
Moving on, this day in 1859, this guy was Kanye West before Kanye West was Kanye West. The self-proclaimed Emperor of the U.S., Emperor Norton, issues an edict abolishing the U.S. Congress. And there's an awesome picture of him, I assume during the Civil War. He's got that cool Civil War beard and hair puffed out, but I can't imagine he got too far with his edict about abolishing the U.S. Congress.
Wow. Definitely Kanye before Kanye, but is Kanye even Kanye?
Ooh. Talk about existential questions, right?
Yes, right.
Moving on, this day in 1900, again, something I wouldn't want to be the first of. The first modern submarine is commissioned in the U.S. Navy as the USS Holland, named for its designer, John Philip Holland. Our buddy Adam spent a lot of time on submarines. Luckily, it's gone through a lot of iterations since 1900. I would not want to be deep underwater on the very first commissioned submarine.
No. And not unless it was the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. Then I'm okay.
That's a good point.
And then I'd be eating a sub sandwich from Porta Subs, which I didn't have on this trip. Blasphemy! I know.
You're just going to have to come back now, Tone.
No, oh darn.
Yep.
Oh darn.
Moving on, this day in 1901, Theodore Roosevelt renames the Executive Mansion as the White House. I didn't realize that it wasn't always called the White House. Yeah.
That house is white.
It is.
There's a guy in there. Corona free.
It's huge.
It's huge. He's immune.
We're not a political show either, but...
No, but it's the commercials today. I've heard that like 4 times on the commercial break.
Right.
Now that I can hear the commercials, I got to hear that clip over and over.
Right. Let's move on with this day in history. This day in 1915, the Ford Motor Company under Henry Ford manufactures its 1 millionth automobile at the River Road plant in Detroit. And you could get a Model T in any color just as long as it was black, according to Henry Ford himself.
Wow. Hell of a color there, Henry.
Hey,
I'm glad you could find it on the road dead.
It saved on cost, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Fords, I drive a Ford. Guess where it is? It's on the road. Dead. In a shop.
By the way, any word back on when you're supposed to get it back? It was supposed to be a couple weeks, then it was a month.
Yeah, no, it's been about 4. This is week 4 or 5. They haven't even started it. It's still looking like a month and a half away.
Seriously. Wow.
Yeah. It's a good thing I can laugh and I'm not taking an Uber with Chance the Rapper or whoever the hell took me that one day. Conan the Barbarian. Conan LeBron, something like that.
Yep.
If he's ever famous, I rode in the back of his Uber. That's my claim to fame.
All right, moving on this day in 1929. Sad for Cubs fans until recently. The Cubs blow an 8-0 World Series lead. The A's score 10 points in one inning. And, of course, they never won the World Series again until, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
2016.
Okay, 4 years ago now.
2016, yeah. And then, you know, the baseball, the way they did it this year, like all the top seeds had to play in wild card rounds, which was stupid. They should have gotten a bye. They got bounced by the Miami Marlins, who are terrible this year, but made the weird playoff. And they bounced the Cubbies this year. I mean,
it's the way it goes.
I would have loved to have seen Cubs versus Dodgers, but you know, it's not what's happening. We get the Braves and Dodgers and the
it's going to be huge.
cheating Astros and the Rays.
Yeah, it's going to be Astros Dodgers again, which I'm not looking forward to. But
in that case, I'll actually root for the Dodgers.
Yes.
As sick as that sounds, because I just don't like the Astros now.
Yep. But I digress. Let's move on. This day in history. In 1931, Christ the Redeemer statue opens standing 30 meters high. That's 98 feet tall for us in the U.S. on top of Mount Corcovado overlooking Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And you've all seen us, that giant Jesus with his palms out. Very cool. And hopefully that, survives, long into the future.
Yeah.
Yep. Moving on.
Long time in the future.
This day in 1933, gangster John Dillinger escapes from jail in Allen County, Ohio. The same day, this day in 1933, that gangster George Francis Barnes, a.k.a. Machine Gun Kelly, is sentenced to life in prison. So one guy escapes, the other is sent to prison for life.
For life. Because when you're a gangster for life.
All right. And before we head out for the day on this Monday, let you guys continue on, and we'll have a new show tomorrow being a Tuesday. Let's run down some today's holidays. As we mentioned, today is Columbus Day, or as some people observe, Indigenous Peoples Day. So we don't judge either way, just as long as you observe it one way or the other. Today is Cookbook Launch Day. Don't know why
Launch that cookbook, mother lovers.
But hopefully in that cookbook you can find one of these two things. It is National Gumbo Day. It is also National Pulled Pork Day, which, I could love me some pulled pork.
Cook that up, baby.
It is National Kick Butt Day, which I think we're doing pretty well here.
Yes.
It is International Moment of Frustration Scream Day. Please don't do it over the air, but if you just need to scream, go ahead and scream. It is Free Thought Day. Hopefully you guys get those free thoughts in. And then before we head out, it is World Arthritis Day. So, take care of those joints, people. In any case, we thank you guys for joining us today. We will come back tomorrow with a brand new episode. And being Tuesday, we're going to be doing Animal Tales. We move from Wednesday to Tuesday, so you won't want to miss it, folks. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my